Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Clash of Comrades Mayhem. We have the semifinals and grand finals today. Really excited to show you these games. My name is Captain Fog, and I am joined, as always, by the wonderful Hunter. Hunter, how are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing excellently, and really excited to see what our players pull out today. Hopefully a little more than squirrel balls.
Definitely.
That would be perfect.
So we've got a little bit of something different to start off with. We might have a couple of people in the stream who have never seen this game played before, so we have a quick introductory video, which we're just going to play right now. The game starts off with two players controlling commanders. They start off with windmills. At the windmills, they can build farms, and farms generate food. There are 8 farms around each windmill. With that food, you can build warrens at your base. And each warren will produce units for you. And these units are what you're going to use during the game to fight your opponent. Now, the game is over when your opponent's last windmill is destroyed. So obviously there's a little bit more depth than that in terms of the different kinds of units you can use. And that's just kind of a brief overview of what you're going to be looking at. So here we go. We're going to jump into these tournament brackets here to show you what's going on. And we have a slight change up today. We're going to do best of 5 finals and best of 7 grand finals. That'll give you guys a few more games to watch and our players a little bit more flexibility in their builds. So that's great for us, great for them, great all around. Now our first match is going to be Zenith versus Loof. Again, both these players winning their quarterfinals match. Zenith, of course, the 800-hour player with the most time played in game. And Loof, a moderator on the Discord forums, who's also been around for a very long time. What were some highlights from yesterday, Hunter? From their 2 games. I know we saw a lot of squirrels. I know I saw LeConte pull out some really aggressive strategies, I believe. Early on.
He was using the mines on the high ground.
That's right, yeah.
Loof winning with just more squirrels. Pretty solid play, pretty standard. Croth, Zenith winning his games pretty decisively, as I remember. Both players winning their games 2-0. So, both undefeated so far in the tournament.
Definitely. I do want to also point out that Loof came in 3rd in their group. So upsetting LeConte is the number 2 player in LeConte's group. So we'll see if Loof can pull off a victory against Zenith here. And with that, we're going to jump into the first game, which is going to be Zenith versus Loof, of course. And we'll see what both of these players decide to do for their very first match of the semi-finals.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Loof is the slight underdog, considering Zenith and Zeno are both like the top 2 players. They're favourites to win. Definitely. I'd like to see that change up a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm expecting some close matches. Both really solid players. So, I don't see why it wouldn't be close.
Yeah, definitely. An upset by Loof would be a staggering development here. I would love to see Loof beat Zenith here and take on Zeno in the grand finals. But we'll see. Loof going ahead, and he's got his first build all ready. Squirrel, mole, pigeon, chameleon, turret, and wolf. I don't think we've seen wolves yet. Most of the games haven't gotten to tier 3. But the rest of Loof's build is very standard.
Indeed.
And it looks like Zenith is taking...
Both players opting for the same core, basically, with the squirrel, mole, pigeon, chameleon, really popular in this tournament.
Definitely. I'm being reminded here that Zeno is not in the grand finals yet. He still has to play his game against Vashu. So my apologies. That could still go either way.
Exactly. Okay, so going into game 1 of our semi-finals match between Loof and Zenith, we have Loof to the north as red, Zenith to the south as green. Let's have a look at the map.
And I'm going to say Zenith has a pretty defensible base here, surrounded by water, which of course you can still walk through, but slows you down, and just that one little bridge in front of his base. Whereas Loof has a nice safe expansion behind his main base, and a nice safe expansion to the front, and to the south, and to the east. So definitely Loof ahead here if the game decides to go, or if the players decide to go for a little bit of a longer game. But if Loof decides to rush, Zenith will be able to control that rush pretty easily. Zenith, of course...
We haven't seen any games go beyond 2-base play yet. It'll be interesting to see that. Both players opting for the same 7 or 8 farms. Zenith going for 7 farm Warren.
Loof going for 8. And we'll see what Warren he decides to place down first. Or if he decides... Ooh, that would be interesting if he expanded. Nope, but it's going to be squirrels. So both players going with 1 squirrel Warren to start out.
Zenith going to have that slight early advantage with the squirrels. He's going to start pulling them over fairly soon. And he's placed a forward Warren, hoping to get maybe an early fight where his units can reinforce quickly.
We'll see if he can take out that first pig, and it does go down. And in a match like this, that is a very important development. While it may seem small, remember that farm is not producing while it's rebuilding.
It's interesting because that's the first time, like, a lot of the players have brought out early squirrel warrens in this tournament, or slightly early, but that's the first time we've seen a good poke out of it. Oh, and Loof just behind in the squirrels. Zenith pushing all the way forward back into the base. Oh my god.
There goes...
Zenith picking up game 1.
Game 1. Now, what could Loof have done differently in that scenario? That was that a 6-farm Warren? I think I missed that timing.
That was a 7-farm Warren.
That was 7. That
Loof,
seemed like a really fast squirrel for a 7-farm Warren.
It was a fairly short map. The bases were kind of close together, with the roads like just going straight between them. But also worth noting, Loof, it was about a 90 food Warren. If it placed it a little bit earlier, that might have gone a bit differently. That squirrel that poked that farm was so close to dying.
Yeah.
That pig might not have died if it was an earlier Warren. He also could have, having scouted it, placed down a mole or something just to tank, and, you know, that's a fast unit to bring out.
Yeah.
That could have helped a bit too.
Alright, well, both players going for the same build so far. Loof going for the exact same build. Reordering them a little bit, perhaps going to change up what order he's going to put these units out. Zenith going for barbed wire.
Interesting.
It's an interesting choice. Again, those moles and those chameleons are just going to melt through that barbed wire, but squirrels cannot get past barbed wire. They can walk through it and take 1 damage per second, but they can't actually damage that barbed wire. Now he does have pigeons to back up those squirrels, so that'll mitigate some of the barbed wire damage, but we'll see.
Going into game 2, Loof to the northwest as red, Zenith to the south as green. This is a really long map. Look at this.
Well, that's giant. Looks like 2 expansions on the west side of the map and 3 on the east side of the map. Both players have a fair amount of access to expansions. I don't think either one has a particular advantage. Zenith does have that ledge right above his base. If Loof can pull any kind of squirrel up there, he'll be able to pick off farms, unless Zenith has vision onto that high ground.
Very true. Both players going up to 7 farms right now. 8 farms for Loof, 8 farms for Zenith, both opting for a longer start, probably due to the map size.
We'll see how Zenith decides to deal with this ledge above his base. I don't know whether it's the kind of thing where just putting out pigeons early could help, or maybe even a machine gun up on that ledge, or taking that base even.
If he expands to that base, that would be fairly easy to defend, although it does have that water, which means the reinforcements would be slightly slower.
Zenith does have sniper balloons. I missed that. Sniper balloons will help. If he puts one just near his base, he'll be able to pick up that high ground vision.
Loof already up to 3 squirrel warrants. Zenith just building his 3rd. Zenith is actually ahead slightly on the squirrels. Or nope, they're even now. They're about even.
Alright, both players putting out 3 squirrel warrens. And really, we'll see if it comes down to the first engagement again. Zenith throwing out chameleons.
Ooh.
Whereas Loof has put down a mole and another squirrel warren.
That's, if those chameleons get out before Loof puts down, like, I don't know, chameleons of his own, that'll give Zenith a good advantage in these fights. It looks like they're going to be opting for fighting along the west side of the map rather than taking the long road. If they just go through the west side, that's a shorter route, I think.
I just want to take note here that Zenith had his army positioned right here to protect against that high ground. It's a very smart move, especially with Loof bringing his army over right now. We'll see. They'll be on that, Zenith's army will be on that low ground. Loof deciding to not fight on that high ground, which...
That's really... yeah.
Maybe not getting corralled into a corner, but here goes the first engagement of this game. The chameleon is out.
Oh, there's chameleons out. Both of them out now.
Still,
Luke's army is going to get swept up.
And those moles just aren't going to do any good against 2 chameleons, which keep all of their, or most of their health.
That is not a bad outcome. Not a good outcome for Loof.
Chameleon's out for Loof. Chameleon's out for Loof as well, but his first one going down. And this army from Zenith is just going to keep pushing as far as it can. Canceling 2 warrens, smartly, Loof.
Loof just... He was bringing all his units in one at a time. If he'd just waited at his base a bit longer, he might have had a better chance of holding the defense. And there goes game 2.
Alright.
Zenith takes up the 2nd game in the semi-finals. Best of 5 match. I'm really confused as to why Loof didn't use the high ground advantage there. He could have picked off all, I don't know, 3 farms before Zenith could get an engagement. Something
like that. I mean, it could be that, you know, if you go for that kind of engagement, if your units are focusing on the farms, if Zenith's army had come around up the high ground, or up from the low ground, they could have caught Loof's army in that little pocket, because there's no way Loof could have gotten out, so it would have been committing to an engagement.
Oh, that's very true. But by walking into the water like he did, that was already committing to engagement. He had no chance of retreating.
That's true. Going into game 3.
Zenith to the southwest is green, Loof to the northeast as red. Loof going for a build change. Going for lizards and
a boar.
Boar this time.
We'll see if that comes out. That'll do a lot of good against the squirrels. But maybe not so much good against chameleons.
Zenith has no farms down. He's going to go for a mole.
Alright.
He's going for mole rush. The mole's starting building already. Loof cancels his... Oh, wait, no, Loof doesn't have any... He doesn't have any MGness, but Zenith decides to cancel the moles.
Alright, seeing that Loof has spotted Zenith's mole rush, Zenith decides to cancel those moles and go ahead and fill out his farms. Loof responding with 3... Oh, I apologize. He's just canceled them. He did have 3 squirrels. Oh no, he's rushing!
What?
Rushing a boar! Okay.
Boar first! Okay.
Game 3.
I like this.
Why not? He's seen 2 turrets down. Zenith is expecting an army of 9 lizards to attack in the front of his base. He's popped down 2 turrets, but Loof has canceled them all and gone for a boar.
That is... that is awesome. I love that. Okay. Let's get some interesting things happening in these semi-finals. Well, right. That's not going to be out for ages.
Now watch this though. See how Loof is signaling his units? So Zenith thinks that an army of lizards is going to come and attack, but really there's nothing on the field. Now he's going to come back. Zenith is expecting units.
He's so confused.
And nothing's there. Now he scouts that tier 3.
Oh, there's a tier 3. What could that be?
Let's see how he reacts. Canceling those turrets. And probably going to push forward with these squirrels. Oh, however, that boar is almost out.
Be out really soon. Oh wow.
Alright, the boar is out. Let's see how this goes down in this little gully among the trees. Here we go, damaging almost every squirrel at once.
Oh,
Those
no.
moles are doing a lot of tanking though.
Oh no!
Alright, so he gets all the squirrels. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be enough with no other units on the field. That's GG.
Oh, GG.
Oh, that
Well,
was exciting though.
That was exciting. Just those moles, they couldn't go down fast enough. Boar just not got enough tankiness or power to go through that.
Alright, so congratulations to Zenith taking the first match of the semifinals here.
Undefeated.
Undefeated so far. Let's
So
see if
far.
he can retain that. Let's jump back into the tournament bracket. That was I really wanted to see that board just kind of melt through. I mean, it did. It melted through all those squirrels. Unfortunately, those moles just kind of blocked in that area. It almost worked.
Yeah, the moles trapped him in the cliff or in the valley there. That was tough, and 2 of the squirrels actually managed to survive and do some extra DPS.
All right, well, we're gonna jump into our next match here. It's going to be Vashu versus the undefeated Xenocoup. Actually, both of them are... Oh, no, they're not both undefeated. My apologies. Vashu upsetting again, just like Luke, upsetting the order, defeating Superman yesterday 2-1. Superman trying to push out those really aggressive expansions, but not quite getting through during the second 2 games.
He did win the first game on the back of that expansion, but the second game, Vashu Mole rushed and completely decimated Superman. Third game, it was the Chameleon Backdoor. That was a good game as well. Those are all good games coming up from Vashu. I'm looking forward to seeing how he plays against Zeno.
Definitely. All right, well, let's jump into our match here of Xenocoup versus Vashu. Xenocoup's going to be in red here, Vashu in blue. I'm surprised. Usually Xeno goes for the green of the Quartermaster, along with Zenith. A lot of the pro players like to go for the Quartermaster, that nice green.
Switching it up for the tournament. Showing some new strategies. Going for red, that throws the opponent off. Right.
Definitely.
Here we go. Game 1 of the semi-finals. Xeno versus Vashu. Xeno to the east as red, Vashu to the west as blue. Looking at the builds, Vashu's gone for toads, whereas Xeno has gone for skunks. Interesting. That's a 4 tier 1 build.
Wow.
Tier 1s are very strong right now.
Now, do you think Vashu's going to build all tier 1s and have every unit, or do you think he's going to try and respond to what Xeno throws down?
Oh, definitely. That was clearly a pick out of just having as many options as he needs to in the early game. The early game is often where it's won or lost, and having more options really helps. Chameleons are definitely going to come out if the game goes longer, though.
Alright, well, we'll see. Taking a look at this map here, Vashu with some nice high ground to defend his main base with, but Xeno with a nice expansion just outside of his base. Vashu's going to have to travel a little bit further to pick up an expansion, should the game go that long. Vashu is going to be throwing out squirrels on 5 farms. 3 squirrel warrens are going to go down.
Squirrel rush.
And here comes Xeno.
5 farm, triple squirrels.
Alright, well,
that is going to get spotted, all 3 of them. Xeno has plenty of time to respond before those squirrels actually manage to mess up.
Oh, and he almost canceled that farm, but it didn't quite get out in time. That might be a slip-up from Xeno. That might make the difference. Some barbed wire going down, but no squirrels out yet. Vashu has 3 squirrels out. If he pushes right now, he might be able to do additional economic damage. And definitely, that's an uncharacteristic slip-up from Xeno to miss that farm cancel timing. I guess it was a little bit surprising, so it's not normal, but...
Vashu decides not to push in yet. Oh, he is bringing his units around. He's maybe going for a little backdoor away from that barbed wire. He is a little bit behind on the economy.
But now both players have the same number of squirrels, so any advantage that could have been there is now gone.
Just, I think, a bit late on the offensive for Vashi there. Xeno gonna go up straight to 12 squirrels, selling both the barbed wires. Probably gonna decide to go on the offensive very soon.
All right,
Then pigeons too.
Vashu throwing down 2 chameleon warrens. It might be
risky.
a little bit risky. Yeah, definitely risky. With only 6 squirrels against 10 right here, might just be caught completely off guard, using that barbed wire to tank a few of the squirrel shots. But down goes the army.
And his entire army gets taken out.
And I think
Xeno gonna go. Oh, I don't know what he's doing actually.
I think he's being a little bit too wary for this scenario. He's not really trusting after that early rush, but now he's deciding to go in.
Going straight for those warrens.
That first chameleon is out, and you can see some of Xeno's units are running through that barbed wire. So actually, Vashu might be able to clean this up.
That was a good timing on that chameleon coming out. That's exactly what he needed.
Definitely. Now, I don't know if
scaring off Xeno's army.
I don't know if pushing in is the smartest idea right now. Again, Xeno has a nice wall of warrens to protect his pigs. I don't know. Warrens aren't the best wall because, again, you lose food value and you lose the ability to create units. But, oh no, is this army to be caught out of position by these 4 ranged squirrels? Pulling them back. 3 chameleons out now. 4 chameleons. And that might be enough to get through this army of squirrels.
He does have the chameleon advantage. He doesn't have that many squirrels to back it up though, so we'll see what happens in this fight. Chameleon's right on the front line.
Alright,
Every 2 seconds they take out a squirrel.
1 chameleon is down, but the rest of the 3 survive. 2 of them with very low health. Xeno wisely backing off.
Dominance of chameleons once again.
And those pigeons not even helping, because those chameleons are one-shotting those squirrels as they or not quite one-shotting, but almost one-shotting the squirrels as they go by. A toad out now for Vashu, getting 2 toads out.
Interesting decision. Those chameleons could.
1 good toad hit. 2. That was a massive toad hit.
The pigeons barely keep those squirrels alive, but that entire army is going to get picked off.
And here come the chameleons picking off the poor survivors. 1 chameleon warren is, I think that was sold.
Oh, that was sold. That was
just barely sold.
Really
Again,
nice play by Vashu there.
Doesn't get the whole food value back. But Vashu, let's take a look at the army graphs here. Vashu is slightly ahead with those 4 chameleons. And ahead in economy as well.
Xeno realizing he's behind on the chameleon value, dropping him down a chameleon warren.
And Vashu already has an expansion.
Really well.
He's already got 3 farms down. Xeno is just getting his first one down. I think Vashu. I don't want to caster jinx it, so I'm not going to say anything.
Vashu's got an advantage right now. This is looking good for him. He's got the farms. He's developing farms on his new base right when the farms are going down. Xeno's a little bit behind on that. Xeno's not got much income right now, and if Vashu clears out his army, he's not going to be able to reinforce it very easily.
Definitely. We passed that 5-minute mark about 30 seconds ago, so the first 4 farms are farmed out. They're not producing units anymore. So Vashu, 8 farms to Xeno's 6, 3 of which aren't even up right now.
Here we go, there's another fight. Those toads getting a connection. Wow, Xeno's army gets completely destroyed.
And there goes game 1 to Vashu.
Game 1 to Vashu.
All right.
Nice play.
GG GG all around, definitely. But Vashu pulling out a surprise first victory. I knew you could do it, Vashu.
That was insane value from those early chameleons. I really thought that was really risky, but Xeno just little bit slow on the pushing in. If he pushed in a slight bit faster, maybe he would have been able to get a higher advantage. But as soon as those chameleons came out, Xeno had to retreat because he was going to lose his entire army.
Yeah, there was that hesitation when there were some unprotected warrens down on the low ground of Vashu's that Xeno could have just taken out. And I think Xeno was just caught slightly off guard by that first initial push. Here we go.
It was interesting seeing toads as well. Those toads actually got some really good value.
Yeah, there were
the good connections.
A couple toad hits.
And the chameleons.
And there weren't moles that time out for Xeno to tank some of those toad hits. So I think taking those toads in a little bit late gave Vashu that advantage. They kind of just showed up and did their work without Xeno having the chance to respond to them.
Exactly. So going into game 2 of Xeno versus Vashu. Vashu to the north as blue, Xeno to the south as red.
Wow, look at this. All these bases are all in a line.
Yeah.
So both players,
Useful.
yeah, it looks like Xeno has a little bit of protection around the back side of his base. Vashu in lots of open ground, but kind of a little bit of a choke towards his side of the map. Neither player has a huge advantage in terms of bases or economy. The east side of the map is barren, so most of the fights are going to be happening right in the center here, in which Xeno will have a slight advantage because of that high ground, unless Vashu can get out some pigeons.
Worth noting that Vashu went for 4 farm squirrel. That farm's just about to finish, so he's gone for very early aggression.
Alright, and we're seeing a mole come out on this high ground right here. First squirrel is coming through with a mole to back it up. Let's see if Xeno can respond to this. He doesn't have
got 1 squirrel worn out right now.
only 1 squirrel, and that I don't know if that barbed wire is going to be enough. That mole is hitting the wrong thing, unfortunately, trying to take down that barbed wire. And unfortunately,
that's not what Vashu wanted from that.
ooh, cancel that mole or let it go through.
Oh,
All right,
mole does come out.
3 squirrels.
Oh, he can't quite pick off that warren. Oh, his entire army gets taken out.
That was very dangerous once again from Vashu. That first early push, seeming to catch Xeno off guard.
He almost did. He was so close to getting that warren. That was a heartbreak for Vashu. Now he's picking up toads. Hopefully, gonna be able to stave off this early aggression with it.
But it might be a little bit too late. 2 squirrels to 5, and that's not going to last very long.
Possible if the toad comes out quick enough. If Vashu can get Xeno a bit more scared that toad is coming out, he's gonna have to micro it really well so it doesn't get picked off.
Ooh boy!
No.
All right, that was a fair toad hit. I don't know if it'll be enough to push that through. Another toad is out right before the warren goes down, and it isn't.
Oh, it gets picked
enough.
off immediately. Picked off immediately.
Oh boy!
Ooh.
My heart can't handle it.
Yeah.
That was very, very close. So game
Xeno
2,
picks up the win.
going
Game
to
2.
Xeno Akup. Oh man, I don't know what's gonna happen yet. Next, we've seen Vashu twice now put out some really early aggression that seems to have caught Xeno off guard. But again, Xeno in that second game maybe responding a little bit better, pushing in with his units, not hesitating this time, and really just taking out the rest of Vashu's units. I don't know.
Nice read by Xeno.
I don't know if that one, when the mole was attacking the barbed wire, I don't know if that would have made a difference if it had pushed through and started taking out the squirrel. That might have been the turning point.
Perhaps there was a lot of stress that both players were going under. A lot of what's the word? I don't know.
A lot of tension in
Let's
this.
just go into game 3.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Game 3, we have
Vashu.
Vashu in the east as blue, and Xeno Akup in the west as red. And Vashu's happy sitting up here in a fortress. Look at that. There is a back door for Vashu's base, but he's got 2 layers of high ground on which to put whatever he wants to put. Whereas Xeno Akup, although Xeno might have more access to expansions, Xeno's kind of out in the middle of a field here. A mole
This is
out.
kind of the exact enemy base that skunks would be good against, though.
Definitely. A mole there seems to have been made by Vashu, but didn't actually make any difference. He decides to make it and then pull it back.
Maybe he's scared of early aggression from both players. They don't want to lose to some cheese.
Definitely. Both players now have 7 farms, getting their 8th out. So mirroring builds here.
Yeah. Xeno does have a really easy base to attack. Every single angle is viable. Vashu is really easy to defend. And he has some good expansions nearby. Although none of them are on the high ground.
Vashu throwing down toads as his first warren, and Xeno going straight for chameleons.
both players going straight for chameleons.
Oh, Vashu's canceled that. All right, so we're gonna have.
This is the exact same matchup. What is going on?
That's gonna be interesting there. I was gonna say those toads aren't gonna do any kind of damage. Vashu throwing up 2 turrets on either side of his base, so hopefully gonna shut down any kind of aggression. But again, those chameleons are gonna, sneak up and then immediately pop out and blow through turrets.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe Vashu was expecting more of squirrel aggression. I think
Just
it
to
was
give
good for Xeno to bring out chameleons.
Just to give you an example of what Xeno is facing here, I've just turned on visibility for Xeno, and you can see he can't see up onto that high ground and has to get up on top of the first ledge before he can even see the second ledge. So big disadvantage trying to push up quickly. First chameleon out for Xeno Recoup, second about to be out. Vashu, second, is also about to be out. Xeno going for the expand, whereas Vashu has... Oh, he sold 1 turret. Vashu going 2 more chameleon warrens. Wow. The war of the chameleons right now.
It's going to be very interesting. Xeno picking up that expansion is going to give him a good advantage. Maybe hoping Vashu would turtle up given his great map position. Vashu maybe going for a backdoor on his expansion though.
Alright, but here comes that army of squirrels and a mole. Not going to be enough for just 2 chameleons to be able to survive against.
He has got more chameleons coming out. He's up to 4 now.
Vashu throwing down
for 9 toads!
3. Oh, he's cancelled one of them. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And going for that expansion.
Oh, that's
now.
less mental.
Toads only. Toad wins. Yes. No, that's not going to happen.
It's interesting though, because the chameleons can potentially tank up a lot of damage so that the toads can get to the front line.
That's true, and if you can take out that squirrel army.
Micro. Yeah.
Vashu throwing out a turret to protect his new expansion. Xeno Recoup is already on 11 farms to Vashu's 8. So Vashu is behind economically. Although Vashu is throwing out pigeons right now. Xeno's already got his pigeons out.
Xeno just biding his time, he's got the economic advantage.
Got 50 seconds until those first 4 farms start to farm out, so both players need to have expansions up and running by that 5-minute mark.
Xeno's going in for an attack on Vashu's main. Vashu's going to have to pull back now to defend, because all his units are on the wrong side of the map. Oh no.
And this is going to be
Xeno
a
takes
heavy
out 1
hit.
chameleon warren. Oh no. All those farms are going to go down.
2
Here's
farms.
Vashu's army. Ooh,
Oh, and here
might be
come
too
the
little, too late.
toads. Wow, those toad hits.
Wow! Those toads!
Especially since those farms were about to die anyway, they don't have a ton of value left, so Xeno losing a lot of his army. Look at that. Look at how big the army advantage is for Vashu right now. That base that Xenobot is getting taken down, and this is really bad for Xeno.
This is... He does have a good economy to be able to reinforce his units back, but Vashu, with that unit composition, that's working pretty well.
Alright, unfortunately he might have waited a little bit too long to keep attacking. These toads are gonna... I don't know if he can engage this. Leading toads first. Oh, look at those chameleons. Wow!
Oh, those chameleons took all of the hits, but that might have actually been good.
Definitely, because now he's only got squirrels to defend. 1 more chameleon coming out. 2 chameleons still alive for Vashu. And toads, 1 farm goes down.
Ooh,
2 farms go down. Ooh.
Oh, it's worth noting now though, Vashu is way behind the army now. All those chameleon warrens got taken out in that last push.
Definitely, these units still trickle over, so a couple more are getting taken out. Vashu
I'm not sure if that was a big enough attack to make up for that.
Vashu on 8 farms, Xeno on 7. Let's see about that economy. Xeno was ahead, and now Vashu is slightly ahead. So that might have equaled out. This is a much more even game than I was expecting. No offense to either player.
Xeno going up to 6 chameleons now. So Vashu is... I don't know how he's going to defend if Xeno decides to attack soon. He's got a massive amount of toads, so maybe that could help.
I mean, if he's
got a turret.
If he's got that many toads, if the chameleons are in the front, they're just going to die to toads, you know?
Exactly.
And Toads versus Squirrels is not a great combination for the Squirrels, with only 9 Squirrels against. Oh, Vashu's canceled all of his chameleons. I didn't see that.
They all got destroyed in that.
In the first fight
earlier.
Right, that's right.
Every single one got destroyed. Both players going up to 8 farms on their new expansion. I must say, it's been really tough for any of the players to get up to 3 expansions. Like, by the time they manage to fill out their second expansion, normally the first expansion's dead.
Definitely Vashu gonna throw out another Chameleon Warren, try and replace that large economic hit that he took. So that's my apologies, I forgot about that first attack. So they're probably both on pretty similar economic ground right now.
Definitely. In terms of army value,
Zeno gonna go up to 5 Squirrel Warrens. He's already got 2 Chameleons out, and Pigeons. That's pretty ideal.
Looking at the army value graph, Zeno's on double army value to Vashu. If he attacks now, that would be devastating for Vashu.
Oh, and I don't think that turret's gonna be enough, and Vashu is not gonna see this high ground. Oh, look at that,
no.
He can't see that entire army coming to kill him. Here come the
and
Toads.
Those Toads aren't going to be able to get up, because there's a cliff. Those Toads are going to get picked off by the Squirrels if he keeps playing like this.
Oh, that's rough, and
really
Zeno has definitely a dominant art. Wow, that's literally twice the army that Zeno has right now, compared to Vashu.
Yep. Vashu, all of that army value is in Toads as well. Almost all that army value is in Toads, which will just die immediately in the fight.
Zeno, though, is deciding to play the safe and pick up another expansion. He sees that Vashu has picked up his expansion.
It's very interesting.
So maybe going for just the sure win, as opposed to rushing in and maybe losing all of his army like last time.
He's letting Vashu get up, back up to a good economic situation, though. If Vashu can build more chameleons again.
Alright, Vashu dragging chameleons around, gonna see if he can take out some of these farms, but in comes Zeno's entire force.
Counter-attack.
And that's gonna take out all of Vashu's expansion right here. Those Toads coming in. Oh, it's not enough to take down those Squirrels. Ooh, but
some of those Squirrels do get by good hits.
It's a nice slow motion hit right there. But is it gonna be enough? Vashu has 1 Pigeon and 1 Chameleon right now. His base is undefended, and there are 4 Chameleons still alive and being healed by Pigeons. Down goes that Chameleon Warren. 1 farm down, 2 farms down.
This is not a good situation for Vashu.
That's the game.
Game 3.
Zeno Akup taking game 3 after a very back and forth game there.
Yeah, definitely. That was a really interesting game. That was the longest game we've seen in the tournament so far. Both players back and forth, really even play. I think the moment Vashu was in a bad position was when all of those Chameleon Warrens got taken down and he couldn't reinforce his army.
Definitely, that's 240 food getting taken down in that first attack alone in terms of investment. And although he had that expansion out a little bit quicker, it just wasn't enough.
It's even more than 240 because it was 360.
Oh yeah, right.
That's a massive blow. And although he did get a good counterattack, it just wasn't enough.
I apologize, I keep missing the unit selection screen here. I'm not quite jumping back in quick enough.
Yeah, I missed it too.
But
I'm assuming Zeno's going to go with the same build. He's gone with the same build all these games. Vashu with a interesting build that we haven't seen in the finals, or in the playoffs at all.
Although remember,
into game 4.
Game 4. Yep. If Zeno wins this game, again, it's the first to 3 games because it's a best of 5. So if Zeno wins this game, he's gonna knock Vashu out of this tournament and play Zenith in the grand finals.
Exciting stuff. Vashu to the southwest as blue, Zeno to the northeast as red. Looking at the composition, Zeno deciding to forego pigeons and skunks for toads and falcons.
And falcons, yeah, we'll see hopefully some falcons out in this game. That'll do. I wish that would take out chameleons, but I think chameleons are a little bit too strong right now for falcons to be able to take out. Again, chameleons cannot hit falcons, but they are invisible, so can only be attacked when they're
Xeno's
spotted.
Xeno's gone for a 5-farm Warren, and Varshu has not scouted it. Varshu's going for a mole rush!
Oh no!
What is this?
Alright.
Oh my god! This is gonna... Oh my god, Xeno could be completely destroyed by this.
And the moles are out first. There's only 2 squirrels. In a base race, I
It's a
believe these
base
moles are
race.
gonna win. 4 farms.
There we
Xeno
go.
knows that
First
something is
farm
up.
down.
1 farm down, 2 farms down.
Farms.
Vashu
farms.
also down to just 1 farm.
He can just go right for the windmill.
He's got
It's
4.
undefended.
He's got 4. Yeah, he's got 4 moles, and that mill is gonna go down.
Oh, it could be. No, it's not close. It's not close.
Now
Varshu's
5
fine.
moles now. Oh my! So both
GG
players,
Varshu.
rushing early, and Vashu
Oh my
sneaking out
God.
another game here.
2-all in the semi-finals versus Xeno and Varshu. Varshu pulling out a mole rush again. That's what he did against AV as well, wasn't it? What was it, AV?
No,
It
against
was Superman.
Superman.
That's
Yeah.
it. Superman in game 2.
All right, so we
Oh.
are going to the 5th game. Oh no, I don't even know what's gonna happen now. Because if the game
This
goes
is
longer,
insane.
it seems like Xeno Coop has the advantage in terms of not making mistakes. But Vashu's kind of caught him off guard a couple times with these, or I guess not really caught off guard, but chosen the better of the 2 rush strategies of moles versus early squirrels. The squirrels will be better in a longer game, but the moles are good for that immediate damage. So here we go.
Varshu going for some fairly unconventional play and just like insanely dominating with it. The games he manages to pull it off, it just goes really well for him.
Alright, Game 5, Vashu in blue in the north and Xeno Acoop in red in the south. Taking a look at this map here, Vashu has a lot of expansions around him. Some of that high ground. Xeno does have one right near him, and water surrounding most of his base, so that'll be a nice advantage. But I'm going to say that...
To point out that there's the expansion on high ground right in the middle of the map. Fairly even distance between both players.
Definitely, whoever controls that is going to have a large advantage, either by putting turrets on the high ground or just having that vision. Especially because Vashu is the only one to take pigeons, although Xeno has hawks. Again, flying units will give
Xeno's
you that
gone for
vision.
5-farm triple Warren.
5-farm
Vashu's only
triple.
got 1 Warren out. Exactly.
Alright, we'll see how Vashu decides to respond to this. Is he going to
Vashu
cancel
has
that
spotted
farm?
it.
He's got to cancel it. If he doesn't cancel it, he's going to get overwhelmed. Okay, so there he goes. He's canceled that.
Yeah.
Throwing down more squirrels.
Moles, I think.
Yeah,
Moles
definitely. I think moles is the only way to deal with this. Toads, he's going to go
out. That response
toads.
was too late. They're not going to be out in time. Oh,
1
no.
farm is down.
That was a really nice pick off that farm.
And just a slight squirrel advantage for Xeno. Not quite enough to push through this. Almost up 4 squirrels now. The toads are out.
Oh, 2 toads are out. 2 toads.
2 toads is
And
enough
they
to
just-
take down the
Ooh.
army. Oh, and it doesn't
no,
quite
that second one
explode.
didn't get the hit with some good
Alright.
micro. I think this seals the deal, really.
I don't know, 2 toads hiding in those... Up, 2
Ooh.
toad hits, only taking out 2 squirrels, though that's not enough to be able to defend from this army. 2 farms
Does take
down
out
for
another
Vashu.
squirrel.
Xeno also on 5 farms, so both players on similar economic ground. But if Xeno just keeps pumping out squirrels here, that might be the
Definitely
game.
have the advantage.
And he's now got
Both
enough
those
squirrels.
toads get picked off.
Oh,
Oh, man.
So GG,
What a
Xeno
heartbreak.
Coop taking game 5 after Vashu gets so close.
Those are some really insane games. Some of the best we've seen so far in the playoffs.
Definitely after seeing
Really
that
exciting.
early play, seemingly catching Xeno by surprise a couple of times. Xeno learning for that second game, not hesitating that time and just pushing in, taking Vashu out. We saw that triple mole going into this last game here, or in the game before last game. But ultimately, Xeno Acoop with that squirrel rush went a little bit more like he planned it to go this time. So Xeno Acoop is going to advance into the grand finals against Zenith. I'm going to bring you back to these tournament brackets so you can see exactly what we're talking about. That was the most exciting match we've seen so far. Definitely bravo to Vashu for giving us some
Varshu
things we
playing
haven't
really
seen.
well.
Yeah. We are going to take a quick 10-minute break, and then we're going to go into the grand finals, which would be a best of 7. So stick around. We will be back, and we'll see you in 10 minutes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Clash of Comrades Mayhem Grand Finals. We're really excited. This is the culmination of about a month worth of tournament play. We have Zenith, or Kvoth, against Xeno Akoop, and this is a match that everybody's been wanting to see in a tournament setting for a very, very long time. Of course, Zenith with the 800 hours of play, and also very dominant in all of the tournaments that he's played in the past. Xeno, in this case, is the young upstart looking to claim his first championship title. And where better to do it than the first Clash of Comrades tournament?
Definitely. It's going to be a really exciting set of matches. I think everyone's looking forward to seeing how these two do in such a competitive setting.
Well, without further ado, we're going to jump into this first game of hopefully 7. This is going to be a best of 7. It's going to be a lot of games for you guys to watch here. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We have Zenith here in green, Xeno Akoop in red. I'm excited. I'm so excited for this right now.
I'm excited too. Zenith undefeated so far. Xeno only losing to Varshu in those really close games. Be interesting, really interesting to see how this goes. Okay, unit selection.
Zenith going straight for a classic build, except for sniper balloons. That's the outlier there, and we'll see if that makes a difference.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of players going for like 1 or 2 units that are a bit less used, but I don't think we've ever actually seen them play them. All right. So maybe it's just for a bit more flexibility.
And Xeno Akoop going for toads now and barbed wire instead of the normal turrets. But other than that, both players with pretty standard tier 1 builds.
Okay, going to game 1 of the Grand Finals Clash of Comrades Mayhem. Xeno Akoop to the east as red, Zenith to the northwest as green.
Alright. And it looks like Xeno has a very protected base here in the corner. There's no back door unless there's one behind these trees right here, which is possible.
There isn't.
There isn't? You can see on the map. Okay, you can see on the map. There isn't. It does have a nice expansion right out front. It is on low ground. Zenith out in the open, but with a couple more expansions a little bit closer by, especially this one up in the north here. That could be closed off pretty easily. Both players on 7 farms. Let's see if there goes Zenith with 8. And there goes Xeno with an 8 farm. So no cheese for the first match.
Who knows? They might be saving it for the rest of the matches.
That's true. That's true.
That's the 7. Let's wait and see. Going Squirrel Warren at 8 farms for Xeno. Insanely standard play. Right. Zenith going for 2 Squirrel Warrens.
Both players again on 8 farms. We'll see what Xeno decides to do next. He might decide to throw down toads. Oh no!
He's deciding to go for chameleons.
Straight for chameleons.
Oh.
And we'll see if Zenith can spot this in time. You saw Xeno kind of waited until Zenith was out of the base to go for it.
Good play on a barbed wire going out on the high ground. Zenith also opting for some early chameleons. This is interesting. We've seen early chameleons pay off for lots of players in the last in the quarterfinals, and also today with the games with Varshu as well.
And look at this barbed wire in the front of the base. For only 20 food, he's ensured that any unit that walks by there is going to take 1 damage per second. That's incredibly important for any kind of early pressure from Zenith. Another barbed wire going out. He might be able to lock down that entire expansion with barbed wire. Zenith going straight for the expansion.
Is going straight for the expansion. Yeah.
Xeno also
Zenith also going for an expansion. Right. Oh, both players mirroring each other.
I'm seeing double.
Zenith going for another Squirrel Warren, so he's going to be slightly ahead on Squirrels. But Xeno decides to go for Pigeons.
Alright, but both players, I believe, have scouted each other's expansions now, so they know they're on equal economic footing.
Definitely. No player's gone for any attacks yet. Just seen players ecoing up so far.
Xeno throw down some barbed wire on that high ground, hoping to take away any advantage that Zenith would have by sitting on that high ground. Again, you can see how that high ground is a little bit less vision if a player walks by it.
Nice call. Nice call. I like that. He also placed it on the high ground, right near his base.
Yeah.
So he can slow down any attack, quickly respond to it. It's a good call.
So Xeno looking to maybe not full turtle up, but definitely looking to protect his bases a little bit more while he expands. Zenith, in any case, on 15 farms to Xeno's 13. So although Xeno is turtling up a little bit, Zenith is still slightly ahead in economy.
Indeed. It's interesting. This is the first real macro game we've seen so far, and neither player has T3s.
Well, but here goes Zenith with 3 moles and bringing the rest of his army along with him.
Ooh.
Is looking to... Ooh, that's a lot of moles are going to come in. 5 moles here.
Moles.
And Xeno is
Does
down here
wire,
scouting. That barbed
Xeno's
wire.
gonna have to come back right now.
Barbed wire isn't going to last long against moles. He sees this. His army is there. That's a lot of moles and a lot of squirrels.
That is an insane amount of moles. They just break through the entire line.
Chameleons are out, but it's not going to be enough. Zenith has his own chameleons. 1 farm is down. And his army of Zenith is still alive.
3 farms, ravaging that expansion.
And down goes that expansion. Zenith can either choose to keep pushing and possibly lose his army advantage by losing all of his units, or just kind of sit back and play the long game, because he knows he's ahead in economy right now.
He is opting to push forward. He knows that Xeno has so little active farms.
But again,
they're not going to last very much longer.
Look at these units wandering through this barbed wire on their way over. Again, that unit priority, taking that the cobblestone road. But again, on 15 farms, now 11, because we've passed that 5-minute mark, Zenith can just afford to keep streaming units into Xeno's base. And Xeno's going to go ahead and give up game 1. Look at that graph.
Wow, that army value graph. Those moles really paid off.
So Zenith is going to take game 1 here in the grand finals, best of 7. Again, players need to get up to 4 games if they want to win outright. 4 wins, yes. Zenith going for this.
Xeno going for the exact same build.
Yep.
Both players going for the exact same build.
All right. And we'll see if they decide to play them the same way, or whether they decide to play them slightly differently.
Going into game 2 of the grand finals. Xeno to the southwest as red, Zenith to the north as green. Very similar names. Let's see the map.
All
Xeno
right.
has some good expansion options.
I
He's
wish.
got that expansion right across the bridge that could give him a little bit of forward position.
Definitely. If that base right across Xeno's bridge was a little bit further back, we might be able to see a turret rush. But I think because there's no space there to put any kind of units or any kind of warrens, it wouldn't be a good idea to rush there. But at the rest of the map, Zenith has a lot of high ground. Let's give you an example of that high ground vision.
Xeno's gone for 5 farm double warren forward position, going for some aggro here.
All right, and Zenith
Xeno's
is also
responding with double warrens and a mole.
So both players going for very aggressive builds here. Xeno's got 2 squirrels out already. Zenith does have his mole out. And let's see if Xeno can poke around to the side here, but those units are already out. And
That was
mole's
a really
gonna
good
make
response
all
by
the
Zenith,
hits.
right on time.
Definitely.
Wow, that aggro was just pushed away, and Zenith keeps his base, keeps his squirrels, and he's just going to build some more farms now. He's
Definitely.
got everything he needs to defend against any more aggression, so...
And Zenith has twice the army value of Xeno right now.
Yeah, thanks to that mole.
Zenith's going to be very cautious during this game. He's still up in economy, but cancels that farm just in case any aggression comes out. And Xeno's going to pull back and fill out the rest of his expansion. This would be a great time for Zenith to attack.
Definitely, and it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do.
Oh no!
Whoa!
Seems like those farms are just built at the wrong time, and Xeno, knowing that that next attack was going to be his last, is just going to go ahead and say, I'm going to give you this second game.
It seemed like what happened was that those forward warrens paid off in the aggressive stage, or didn't really, but would have. But once Zenith goes for counter-aggression, they just had to be sold immediately.
Yeah. But it's definitely nice to see both players trying out some aggressive things instead of just going for squirrel balls this time.
Definitely. Going to Game 3 of the Clash of Comrades Grand Finals, we have Xeno Acoop to the southwest as red, Zenith to the northeast as green. Same builds once again.
Alright, and Zenith has a nice lakefront property here, surrounded by a lovely shimmering lake, soon to be polluted with poor animal blood. That got a lot darker than I expected it to. Ignore that.
That did. Wow, okay. So let's move on.
Okay.
The expansions.
Yeah, definitely. Alright.
Xeno has good expansion to his to the north of his base, but so does Zenith. He also has a close expansion.
And Xeno Acoop going for 5 farm warren again. Zenith went for, I believe, 6 farm warren. The first squirrel is out, and this high ground is going to be trouble for Zenith. Throwing out a mole. That first pig is going to go down. 5 farms to 5 now, so Zenith has lost his economic advantage. That mole's out now, and that might be what Zenith needs to push away this attack. And again, it's the same thing as last time. Having that mole out definitely tanks a lot of those squirrel shots.
Definitely. That was a good response, if a little tiny bit too late. He does lose that 1 farm.
Xeno taking the time to fill out his base completely, 8 farms. Zenith's still on 6, but he's going to go back and rectify that right now.
Yep. He has 8 farms coming up. He has the mole and 3 squirrels. He's going to push forward a little bit.
Zenith, though, with that mole, has a bit more army value. And if this squirrel warren goes down, it's going to be a lot of trouble for Xeno.
That is going to be... Oh, but it doesn't. Oh, it does. It gets picked off, but Zenith does lose his entire army along with that mole.
And
Xeno has nothing to defend with.
Throwing down a desperation turret, 2 desperation turrets. That squirrel is going to sit behind these turrets and just try and hold on. That mole's out, though, and I don't think it's going to be enough.
It's not. With that mole, they're helping them.
1 pig is down.
Throwing down more turrets, just hopefully one of them can survive.
More moles.
Pick off
yeah.
Army.
But I think at this point it's too late. Xeno's on 8 farms, got 5 squirrels out. And there we go. Xeno Acoop taking 1 game to climb back into these grand finals.
A lot of aggression we're seeing in these past few games.
Definitely after
yeah.
After some slow starts, we're seeing very, very fast play here from the highest level of competitive play at the moment in Tooth and Tail.
We have going to Game 4. Zenith to the south as green, Xeno Acoop to the northeast as red.
And a very very large map this time, with a nice tower base in the middle. Both players have access to expansions, but Xeno Acoop definitely has the advantage in terms of further expansions. With all these expansions over to the north and west that are blocked off, you have to go through Xeno Acoop's main base to get to them. Unless I'm missing a small ramp here, which it doesn't look like I am.
No, you're right. So, Zenith definitely has the worst side of the map. Xeno can expand wherever he wants, whereas Zenith, his expansions are going to be very open to attack, unless he can get a forward one set up. Xeno going up to 8 farms before building any warrens. Zenith also going for the same, both going for a slower game this time around.
They've had their cheese fun, and now they're going to try and push out into the longer games.
It's definitely the map to do it.
That large map with high ground in the middle is going to be difficult to try and force your way over in the beginning of the game. Zenith throwing down his first 2 squirrel warrens, Xeno doing the same. I'm surprised. One of Zenith's favorite strategies that I've seen is to choose a base in the corner of the map as an expansion early on and just kind of keep burrowing and filling it out every once in a while. But it could be that Xeno Coop is just too good at scouting for that to work.
Yeah, it's a very risky play, very all or nothing, and against such an experienced player as Xeno, or just a powerful player, he can expect that will be scouted.
Alright, and Xeno has read this map and seen that he's going to have the long-term economic advantage. He's thrown out some barbed wire to try and protect that high ground, and thus taken control of this high ground. He's going to have an advantage there now. Zenith also grabbing an expansion, perhaps in preparation of a longer game. Because it would be not a good idea to assault through that barbed wire onto the high ground, especially with Toads out now for Xeno Coop. Going back to 2 metas ago, and for a build that he used to do all the time, which was Squirrel Toad and Barbed Wire. The only thing that would make this complete would be some Hawks. But Hawks getting that HP nerf recently down to 15 from 20 health. They're not quite as good as they used to be. Yeah.
Xeno picking up his first tier 2 warrant, going for Chameleons. Zenith also dropped it way earlier, so Zenith's already on 2 Chameleons.
And Zenith,
he can take out that barbed wire.
Zenith again, just a little bit ahead in economy. Or not quite, I apologize. It looks like Xeno's beginning him out a little bit earlier. They're pretty much even. But that's impressive for Xeno having 2 barbed wire pieces down, and Zenith not scouting that expansion until it was already built.
I think Xeno has a slight advantage here, seeing as Zenith would have to go through the barbed wire to push through.
Now, especially with all these expansions in the north and west of the map locked down by Xeno, his army's there, which means that the only other expansion Zenith can take is right in front of this high ground, right here. So Zenith's gonna fill out.
Impossible.
Zenith's gonna fill out this base as quick as he can, because he's gonna start to. Oh, and Xeno's just gonna go ahead and buy that expansion, which means that Zenith either has to sneak his way by the army somehow, or
there
push
is
through.
A tiny little ramp there.
There
as
is.
Zenith is pointing out right there.
He has seen it.
But he can't actually get up there, I don't think. I can't really tell.
He does have pigeons out and throwing down 5 moles at one time. Let's see if he decides to push through that back door, push through the front. I think he knows that he has to end it quickly. And look at the amount of...
before Xeno gets that economic advantage. Up to 3 windmills right now.
And
just gonna push right through the front door.
This is gonna be rough. Zenith on 300 food right now.
It's fairly even armies here.
And
those Toads get some pretty good hits.
I think the moles tanked a lot of them though. 5 moles there. And Zenith is coming out ahead in this. All of the chameleons are dead. 1 farm is down.
Wow.
2 farms are down.
Ooh. Those Toads managed to get a couple of good hits though, and Zenith's gonna have to back off. He hasn't got any moles anymore, so he doesn't really have much of an advantage.
Zenith's on 500 food though.
Wow.
Alright, throwing down 3 chameleon warrens. I don't know whether that was intentional or a little bit of food mismanagement here. There are a lot of nerves going on. This is the 4th match of the Grand Finals. So perhaps just losing sight of your food values in the middle of a very intense battle, which is totally understandable. I think all of us would do the same, if not more.
Definitely. Xeno going up to 9 Toads, 9 Squirrels, and 4 Chameleons, whereas Zenith has 18 Squirrels coming up and 8 Chameleons.
And it's Sniper
He's
Balloon.
also got a Sniper Balloon.
Going up for Zenith. That's very smart. Look at all the visibility that gives him. He's going to try and bait Xeno Coop's army out of the protection of the barbed wire.
Oh, and these Chameleons are just going to keep poking that barbed wire. Thanks to those pigeons, they can just heal up immediately afterwards.
Look at that. One-shotting that barbed wire. Doing 32 damage in one hit.
Here we go. Here's the next fight. Oh, the Toads get some insane connections there, taking out those Chameleons.
It's a lot of Toads, but now we have that
Xeno.
Sniper Balloon. It's just going to keep firing away and taking out squirrel after squirrel.
He needs to pull back now. He's already won the fight. He doesn't want to lose much more. 2
Chameleons back out for Zenith. This is a very, very close match. 12 farms to 9. Again, those farms are starting to farm out, so Zenith has to take an expansion It's going to have to be this expansion if he wants to stay ahead.
Zenith is going to take out most of it.
Using those pigeons to see on the high ground to try and take out some farms, but his army is now cut in half here. That sniper balloon is still taking out one unit at a time. Chameleons are doing their work.
So many chameleons.
But that's a lot of squirrels to try and deal with.
Oh.
And he's outside of the range of the sniper balloon now, just on the very edges. One farm going down.
Wow.
And GG.
Zeno picks up game 4.
Wow.
2-2.
And look at how back
Really
and forth that was. That pushed twice the army value. But I think Zeno just pulling ahead in terms of economy.
It was those toads, I'm telling you. Those toads, they managed to get in there. And yeah, the moles managed to tank up a lot of the shots. And after the moles went down, though, the toads that came in reinforcing could just sweep up the rest of the army.
Yeah. That sniper
Toads
balloon.
really paid off there.
Sniper balloon definitely helped a little bit, but the fight was just a little bit too far away for it to do as much damage as it needed to do.
It was a very fast fight as well, and against those squirrels, it couldn't deal with them fast enough.
Zeno has lost track of the score, jumping into the chat real quickly to check it out. Score is 2-2.
Zeno.
I don't know.
Still gonna win 2 more, mate.
These players have a lot of focus and a lot of intense energy going at each other. They know that they're some of the best players in the community, and they're really zeroing in on their strategies. It's a lot of stress, so I'm not surprised. I'm just kind of losing track of the
They've got
score
half the
here.
community behind them.
Yeah.
Going into game 5 of the Clash of Comrades Mayhem Grand Finals. Zeno to the southwest as red, Zenith to the northeast as green.
Alright, and both players with a little bit of high ground. Zenith has a very small bit of high ground, whereas Zeno is controlling an entire mountain of high ground. I think that both players have a similar number of expansions available to them. I don't know if it's clear enough for me to call it just looking at it like this.
Seems like a fairly even map, although Zeno does have that only one entrance. Oh no, he does have a... Is that a backdoor access? Yeah, he does have a little backdoor there.
Yeah, that might be a corner piece. I don't know if he'll be able to leap on that. We'll see if
I think that is a valid backdoor.
It looks like it is. Both players taking the same builds that have held them through these matches so far.
Yep. And we have both players going up to 8 farms. Zeno going for... Actually, that was a 7 farm warren for Zeno. Zenith going for an 8 farm warren.
Alright, let's see if Zeno can see... Can he get through there? Yes, alright, so that is a back door there. So Zeno knows about it. Let's see if he throws down barbed wire to block it off. I don't know if Zenith knows about it. Because if he does know about it, he'll be able to sneak in and take out a lot of farms if the armies are out of position.
Definitely. Zenith going up to 3 squirrel warrens. Zeno going for 2 squirrel warrens and a pigeon warren.
And
So,
I think
even play so far.
Unfortunately, in this scenario, 9 squirrels is going to do better than 6 squirrels and pigeons. Although Zeno has just thrown down another squirrel warren. We'll see what Zenith decides to buy next.
Maybe he's going to go for... Oh, he's going to go for an expansion.
Alright.
There's a Superman expansion there.
Definitely.
But Zeno's going to push across the map right now. And Zenith sees this, builds some moles. A mole. Just going to go for a little bit of a poke fight here. Zenith's going to be able to clear that up fairly easily.
Alright, and again, those 9 squirrels just aren't a match for only 6 squirrels, even with those pigeons behind them. Unfortunately. It feels like that shouldn't be like that, but...
Yeah. And, Zeno's, not got an expansion up, while Zenith does have an expansion, and he's going to start putting farms into that every now and then. Zeno's just going to go for Squirrel Ball. We haven't seen enough of that, so let's get some more. Let's just get some more Squirrel Ball, going up to 18 squirrels. We haven't seen that in the grand finals yet, though. So
that's true.
We'll
I was gonna say somebody throw me some kappas.
See how these players handle Squirrel Ball. That mole is going to get picked off.
And that
No
second
tanks
mole
for
also.
Zenith's army now.
That's a lot of squirrels fighting.
Wow.
And even with those pigeons, superior squirrel numbers. even losing one of those squirrel warrens. Xeno's throwing up a lot more squirrel warrens, just gonna go full-on squirrel here.
He doesn't really need to make anything else, seeing as Zenith doesn't have any counter units, he just has squirrels.
Zenith does have moles. Looks like Xeno's gonna try and poke at some of these farms now. You can see that those pigeons are giving high ground vision.
This is very all or nothing in this sort of position. Zenith can just cut through and stop his escape.
That army getting cut in half though. Pigeons helping a little bit. But again, Zenith with those moles.
Those moles tanked up a lot of those shots. Xeno just barely loses that fight.
And Zenith again can keep affording to replace his entire army due to those 9 farms to Zenith's.
Yeah, if Zenith just keeps building more farms after each fight, then he's going to come ahead eventually because Xeno has no expansions. He's going to have to make this next push count. Otherwise, he's going to fall behind, coming up to 5 minutes.
Alright, those moles tanking a lot of damage again. 15 squirrels to 8.
And he loses that fight again. Zenith now has 15 squirrels, not a single one.
Did he not lose any squirrels in that fight?
It didn't look like he did.
Wow,
he's
that's
still
absurd.
Up to 15. And Xeno's got less, and he's going to push in again, maybe? He needs to expand soon. He needs to sell Squirrel Warren and expand.
15 seconds until those farms start farming out. And Zenith already has an expansion up, so there's that expansion, yeah.
But this does mean he's not got the advantage in squirrels anymore, and Zenith has got a Chameleon Warren coming up. That is some really good micro coming out of Zenith on those moles.
Definitely, we're just realizing that. Yeah.
All of the shots.
Oh, is he gonna find? Okay, he's not gonna find that back door. That would be devastating. Look at all these Warrens that are lined up over here at that back door.
That would be devastating. That would probably end up in Xeno having to go for a base race.
Alright, Zenith has spotted this expansion now. He's spotted Xeno trying to put up some barbed wire to defend. Xeno has also spotted the expansion, so he knows that Zenith is ahead.
He also spots the Chameleon Warren, and seeing as it's Tier 2 Warren, definitely chameleons. He can expect chameleons to come out any second now, and Zenith is almost on both his chameleons, while Xeno, his first chameleon can't even come up because he doesn't have the food.
Zenith is still way ahead in army value here, with moles and his chameleons already out. And Xeno just hurting on food right now.
Xeno's so far behind on food, he's finally got enough food to build his first chameleon. We'll see if it's a bit too late. Xeno's just ecoing up a bit more. He could attack right now probably, and win the fight with 21 squirrels and 2 chameleons. He could easily dominate this entire force.
Definitely. I think both players deciding to play it safe though and start building their economy a little bit further back up. Neither one wants to throw away an army in a time where they could just win outright by taking their time, being patient, and continuing to build farms.
Xeno is going to come ahead on farms now though. His farms are going out faster, and Zenith, I think he should have taken that opportunity to attack.
Zenith
found the back door, but there is barbed wire there.
It's true.
And with units funneled through like that, it might take a bit longer with the moles having to destroy the barbed wire first.
Xeno knows that Zenith knows about that back door now, so he's going to be a little bit more cautious. As soon as he sees any kind of movement down there, he's going to have to go back. Both players waiting their economies right now.
Xeno pulling out some toads now to deal with the mass squirrels. But if we see any more micro like we saw the last few fights out of Zenith, those toads are just going to get eaten up.
Again, those moles just kind of sitting in front there. Alright.
Oh my god. Zenith's going for that chameleon poke to take out the barbed wire again, and those pigeons just heal them up.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
A little bit of a lull here as players try and build their armies back up to where they need to be. But again, Zenith with a huge army advantage. I don't know if he knows how far ahead he is, and Xeno's slowly climbing back. Zenith's going to go ahead and take another expansion.
So Xeno's got that expansion to the back.
Right, Zenith
is going up to 9 toads now, but he has got the massive squirrel disadvantage, and he's going to have a massive chameleon disadvantage soon as well. He's just not got as much army value.
Almost twice the number of squirrels. And climbing. Look at
This is
the
gonna be
economy
tough.
graphs here. Zenith getting that windmill ahead a little bit earlier. Both players in the middle of the game, a little bit equal. And Xeno
Zenith
really
going up
pushing that
to-
food.
Xeno's going up to 8 chameleons now, and Xeno's barely got his second Warren out. It's going to be really tough for Xeno to catch up. He's lost his army so early, and he didn't get his expansion up fast enough. He's playing the catch-up game here. He's constantly trying to get his army up to Zenith level.
Although he is ahead in economy right now. It's about to change because Zenith is getting his third expansion up. Neither player has decided to take a tier 3 unit in this matchup. I don't think anybody expected it to go that long, but a tier 3 would have perhaps made the difference in this fight. As it is, we're just going to have a huge battle of 30 or more units on both sides.
Ooh, Zenith pulling all his chameleons down to his low base, maybe to counter some sort of backdoor that Xeno might try, but Xeno's not going to go for anything like that. He's building more barbed wire. And yeah, tier 3 might pay off here, maybe some wolves. That would definitely be useful.
That would be absurd.
But-
It would just obliterate. Look at all the barbed wire here. Here come the chameleons in. They're just going to melt
come
through some of
chameleons.
this. Oh!
Oh!
One
that
chameleon
response.
taken out.
Who cares if you lose some barbed wire if you get a whole chameleon every time?
Xeno going to go ahead and buy this other expansion here, and he might just try and creep up the barbed wire. Turret going down for Zenith. Chameleons in
Oh, and
front.
here we go, here's the fight. Those toad hits really picked off a lot of the army. Zenith's squirrels numbers really down now.
Turret firing away though.
Doesn't matter, he won the fight on terms of the squirrels, but
Definitely.
those reinforcement squirrels coming now.
Oh, look at all
Xeno's
those
gonna have to back
squirrels. Trying to remove as much barbed wire as you can while still trying to micro those squirrels away from the toads, but it's not quite enough. That's a lot of toad hits.
And those they can't get away now once they're in the barbed wire. That's some really good play there. We're seeing Xeno come slightly ahead in these fights.
Zenith getting pushed back. I'm not sure what happened. Perhaps some farms started farming out, but Xeno's going to pull back and really try and push his economic advantage right now. 16 farms to 13.
This is a game really dictated by economy here. Zenith just lost the advantage when he didn't push out during that entire mid game.
And those toads are going to come in and wreck these squirrels. So many squirrels going down. No squirrels left for Zenith. An entire 14 squirrels left for Xeno. And all these
Xeno's
warrens.
going to go straight for his base now. All those warrens are going to go down. And we're just seeing how the superior composition of having those 12 toads mixed in really helped a lot.
I should hope 12 toads helps. If 12 toads doesn't help, something's really wrong.
There we go. Game 5 goes to Xeno. This is
Alright.
3-2.
Alright. Looking at that army value. That's absurd. All those toads just wrecked that army value for Zenith. Oh man. Can't handle this much pressure.
These are really close games, and Zenith, I don't know why he didn't push in that mid game when Xeno had no farms
Hmm.
and no very little army. Zenith just let him build up his economy and then build up that barbed wire wall. Zenith fought right into it, and those toads just came in and destroyed whatever they came across. Like, who cares if you got a tank if the tank dies to enough toads?
Yeah, yeah.
There we go. Zenith may be looking to change his build slightly. Going for toads now. He's seen the value in toads in these big squirrel matchups. Both players getting a mirror build. Except, wait, no, Xeno has the barbed wire. Which has definitely helped him in these last few games. Okay, going into game 6 of the Clash of Comrades Mayhem Grand Finals. Xeno to the west as red, Zenith to the east as green, and it's worth noting, Xeno wins this game. He is our champion of the Mayhem Grand Finals.
A lot of pressure for Xeno to deal with. A lot of pressure for Zenith. See if he can take another game and push this into game 7. We'll see. Game 6 right now. Let's take a look at this map. Oh man.
Looks like Zenith has a really good expansion that you can just pick up. It does have a backdoor though.
Xeno's base is very protected. He's only got a little bit of exposure, so any kind of rush from Zenith is going to be thwarted. There's that base in the south. I would like to see Zenith take that base and for Xeno not to scout it. That would be classic Zenith play, but Xeno is, of course, as we can see right now, very good at scouting. Has he? Oh, I don't know if he's gone on that high ground yet.
Didn't see that there was an expansion there. No, he didn't. And Zenith's going to take it.
Has he
exactly
always
what
taken
you said.
it?
He actually takes it.
Alrighty.
And Xeno's under a lot of pressure here, so I wouldn't be surprised if he needs to focus on, you know, his macro, his micro. He can't be scouting all the time. There we go.
Alright, we'll see. I know Xeno Coop is very, very good at knowing what your army value should be, knowing how much food you have. So we'll see if he notices 60 food missing. And if he goes to try and look for it.
Xeno went for Chameleon first. And Xeno scouted it.
Yeah.
And he's pushing ahead right now because he knows he has the advantage. That Chameleon is going to come out now, like, so like the advantage is gone. Like it's too late now.
It's very early.
Chameleon is going to wreck that entire army.
There's that mole out.
Start swatting at those moles.
It's going to take 2
those
hits
moles are tanking the hits.
to take down. Oh, and is it going to go down? 4 health. 2 health. Oh, can the one last squirrel take it out?
And he saves it. He saves it.
That's amazing.
That was really well played there. Yeah.
All right, Zenith throwing down a turret, knowing that a counterattack is probably going to come. Xeno gathering up his units, letting that Chameleon heal up.
More squirrel warrens now. He knows he has the charm advantage. If he just backs it up with enough squirrels, he can do some damage.
And
I'd like to see Xeno pick up a pigeon now though to heal up that.
That Chameleon Warren going down for Zenith. We'll see if Xeno Coop can maybe get around that back door, perhaps, and try and skirt that turret.
It'll be a long way around.
He is
and
taking
he wouldn't
that
have
expansion.
much opportunity to retreat. He does take the expansion, and Zenith can't get to the expansion too often. He has started putting farms into it though.
So both players even on economy, but again, we don't know if Xeno knows about that base. Let's see if Provision...
I think he does.
On the minimap, it looks like he hasn't scouted it yet.
He does. I don't think he even knows that windmill exists at all.
Yeah.
Xeno is going to go with more chameleons though, so... And he's got more squirrels, and he's got toads coming out, so in terms of army value, he's going to be very ahead soon.
Oh, look, Zenith is plowing away with these farms here. Gonna jump up to 14 right now against Xeno, who's 12.
And Xeno doesn't realize that Zenith has the economic advantage, which he does. Xeno probably thinks that he's got the advantage right now. If he doesn't realize it,
if he pushes in right now, though, I don't know if Zenith's army is going to be big enough to hold back that advance. Again, 12 squirrels versus 9. 3 more
12
coming.
versus 9 and an MG nest, but he has got 3 chameleons. More chameleons are going to come out for Zenith, and Zenith is going to take that expansion, that natural expansion right there.
Up to the north.
Yep.
And now Zenith has... Oh, actually, both players even on economy. Zenith throwing down more squirrels. More squirrels than Xeno has, actually.
Zenith's going to pump farms into his base. He's got a lot of food stored up. There we go. 4 farms going out? 3 farms. Going out for Zenith. And he's got loads of squirrels out. So does Xeno.
Yeah, Xeno's army is bigger at this point by about a third. Both players about even in economy.
Xeno's going to push forward right now.
We'll see how long that turret stays alive and firing. The longer it fires, the more damage it's going to do. It goes down.
And it goes down to the chameleons, and so does everything else. If Xeno wins this, that's going to be the grand finals over.
He will be the next Tooth and Tail champion. That chameleon down to 1 health, it's down.
Oh no.
Zenith has lost a lot of Warrens here. This is not looking
that chameleon
good.
Does come out though. He's got 2 chameleons out.
That
Xeno
turret
doesn't
is
have
up.
any.
And that chameleon just standing in front like, get away from that turret. So
he does have to pull back. But
barely,
he gets so much in that fight.
Barely fending this off, but Zenith still has 13 farms to Xeno's 12.
In terms of Warrens though, Zenith is so far behind. Xeno doesn't care about economy right now because he's got enough to support his current army.
It's true. Another turret going down to fend off any attack. Has he scouted this? He still hasn't scouted this base in the south. That would be an easy target. Although Zenith could probably push in and take out a lot of farms while he was doing that.
Yeah, it would take ages for him to get there with that water and everything. But Xeno is going to attack again right now. Hesitating, going for it against those 2 turrets.
Toads in front. One turret
those
down.
toads get some insane hits. Everything goes
9
down.
toads.
Xeno, expert use of those toads.
Definitely, and with
Using
chameleons
them to
up
their
now
fullest.
and squirrels up now, that is the game. That is the match. Xeno Akoop has taken the grand finals to be your very first Clash of Comrades Mayhem champion with 4 games to 2 against Zenith. Congratulations to Xeno Akoop. Wow.
Congratulations, Xeno. Those are some amazing games fought by Xeno there. Look at him ahead of army value that entire game. Wow.
All right. So stick around for a sec. We're going to get Xeno in this chat in just a minute.
Those are some really good games. Those toads, every single game worked out well for Xeno. He's always ahead on toads. Xeno only pulled them out in the last game. That's what made the difference in those longer games, the toads.
Yeah, definitely. Let me update this score here so it's correct. Actually, I'm going to switch to the tournament page here. So congratulations. We should have shortly Xeno in the chat to talk with us. But definitely, I was surprised that Toads kind of made a comeback there.
Yeah, toads really dictated those last games, and I think going into this, we all thought that it would be whoever has the most squirrels, but we saw Zenith had the most squirrels, and the toads just destroyed them.
Yeah.
I think the toads, they make such little difference early game, but when they come out late game in numbers like 9 or 12, they can decimate the army by brute force.
All right, let's see if he's joined us yet. He is! The winner, the champion of Clash of Comrades, Mayhem, Xeno Akoop, has joined us right now. Xeno, congratulations. Those were some very intense games. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling pretty good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're just fine.
Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah, I felt pretty bad after the first 2 games. I was like, oh no, I'm just getting completely crushed, and just small mistakes too, like trying to mole rush against, or trying to do a fast squirrel rush against someone up a hill who scouted it, just really silly mistakes there.
Right.
So I decided to slow down my game a little bit and try to play him in the later game. And yeah, it obviously worked to my favor. I felt like every time we went long, I had a pretty good advantage.
Definitely. Yeah. Those toads really paid off. So
yeah,
how much preparation did you do for the finals?
For the finals, nothing. Yeah, I was a little sick of seeing squirrel cams every game, so I was just going to go in there and do my best. I did have toads prepared before my games with Vashu, but I didn't want to show them until the grand finals. So I knew that that was going to be something that I was going to bring out, especially, going up against 6 to 8 chameleons. Toads end up being cost effective.
Yeah.
And then, they obviously really paid off putting them in my list. I ended up killing a lot more than just chameleons. I took out squirrels. I took out, they were just a great unit to have in there.
Definitely,
yeah.
So what's next for you? What are you going to go do right now?
Hopefully
take a break.
Another drink. Yeah, take a small break. Play some games with 2 range squirrels. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Where toads are even more dominant.
Yeah, exactly. Where toads are insanely strong.
Well, congratulations to you, Xeno Akoop, taking the championship grand finals 4 games to 2 against Zenith. Really, we've been watching your progress all the way through the tournament. excellent games. You went undefeated, I believe, except for these final couple games. 2 games were the only 2 games that you lost. I guess a couple against Vashu, but
He
still,
lost to Vashu as well.
taking that
Yeah.
championship match,
Yeah, it was insane play. You definitely deserved it there.
taking all the pride and glory, and your prize is having your name in Discord have a little trophy next to it, and you will be the champion. We'll have a nice little champion category for you. So enjoy your small trophy icon after a month worth of hard work, playing lots of hours of tooth and tail games.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
Zeno.
thank you for running the tournament. Thank you too for casting. The stream looked great. I've enjoyed watching everything that you've put out.
Thanks. Yeah. Just want to throw out a huge thank you to the devs of this game, Andy and Alex, also to Jerome, who's another artist on the team, to Austin Winery for doing the music, to the folks at Power Up Games, to all the moderators on the Discord channels who've been helping us keep things under control. Huge thank you to Hunter for casting with me, being my amazing co-caster, jumping in less than a month beforehand and just practicing every day. Definitely couldn't have done it without all of you.
And we definitely couldn't have done it without you, Captain. Thanks for setting up the whole tournament and making it run so smoothly. I don't think we had any hiccups at all. So I think everyone would like to thank you. I will thank you on behalf of everyone.
You are very welcome. Well, that's all we have for you today. Thank you very much for joining us. Clash of Comrades Mayhem is now complete with Zeno Akoop as your champion, the first Clash of Comrades champion. We will see you in July for the next tournament. But for now, enjoy your Sunday, and we will see you all next time.